In today's episode, we are continuing the JETCAR build. Burnouts, mate. We have safety. I don't have to tell you how to operate a grinder or a welder or any of that. No way. If anyone wants to buy that bonnet, please buy it before I wreck it, because I'm going to wreck that bonnet eventually. But today, we've got multiple things to do. So yesterday, we tore the whole car apart. Shit. We're sort of working out what we need to do. But today, we definitely need to do something with the fuel cock. Going to do something with the fuel cock to make sure we can manually shut off the car. We are going to start working on the scatter shield. So the scatter shield is basically the first line of protection. When if this thing goes wrong, it protects me from dying. So we're going to work on that today. That's pretty important. But there's a couple other things that we want to button up. But basically, throughout this month build process, we're going to be checking all these things along the way. And there's going to be a mix of informative content from Andy or John, if you're asking about filming videos, or there's going to be some great comedy from myself. Whether you find it funny or not, you're just going to pretend to laugh. It makes me feel better about myself anyway. But anyway, we'll get into that. That's us. So let's jump into it. We put it up on the hoist and we're just having a look at some of the contraptions going under here. And there's obviously some safety concerns. So this is a custom jobby by the looks of it, because obviously there'd normally be a diff here, but the diff's gone because
that's full.
Engine's in the way. That's full. What is that? Is that fuel?
It'll be more vapor.
Vapor, oil.
Bit of Caro in it.
Bit of Caro. So basically this looks pretty solid, so I'm not too concerned about this section here. There's some stuff like hanging down. So these fuel lines, I don't know what that is, but it's a drain, but it needs to be changed. That just looks dodgy. At the moment, when I was explaining before about you twist the knob to turn the car off, that cable runs into, it's like a drill chuck. Some sort of thing you'd see on the end of an old, in your dad's shed. You go out there and there's a old plug-in drill. That's the chuck off one of those drills. So that's how you actually turn the motor on and off. So that's like, it works. It's not stupid if it works. So it works. So I'm happy to leave that, but I want some extra stops. So if something goes wrong, we hit a button, the thing just turns off. Because at the moment, it doesn't just turn off, it just keeps going. So this, from what I can figure out, this is like a fuel bowl where they put a filter or something along those lines. So between this bowl and where it goes into the engine, which is here, some sort of fuel pump regulator deal going on here, there's a bit of a line, like it's a stainless steel line. So in that line, I want to put a electric solenoid, like normally off. So basically, if I've got my ignition on, no fuel can get to the engine. So if I hit the off switch or hit the button, turn the key off, that shuts the fuel solenoid, which stops the engine. That's the safest way to do stuff. That's how I have my cars. That's how everything should be. So that's pretty easy. We just got to undo that somehow and put some sort of inline solenoid to stop that from happening. The suspension and brakes, it's like they're old, but they're not the worst. There's a big lot of chassis welded in here, so a bit of RHS, which is good because we can build off that. We don't have to change any of the structure of the car. The car's pretty sound. It's very thick, solid, all welded together nice. I'm pretty happy with all that stuff. I don't know if Andy's happy, but I feel happy.
Yeah,
so
good job.
There's a lot of stuff going on, and this is the biggest thing about jet engines, right? No one knows, unless you're a jet engine mechanic, which is normally in the military or Qantas, Boeing. We don't know anything. I don't even know what all this stuff does. I have zero idea what it does. So figuring out what all this stuff does is half your battle. But from what I can see, there's a lot of stuff that needs to change. So this thing here, this is the manual fuel shut off. So before I figured out how to turn this off, I would have to get out of the car and turn that off to stop it. So that's just not cool when you're in the car. If it runs away or something's getting out of control, you got to turn this thing off, and that's just not accessible. So we're going to have a backup plan. So we're going to run one of this pull push cable, which comes out the levers at the top. We're going to run this to this, run the cable to the shut-off valve. That way we can pretty much control manually and electronically the fuel shutting off. Things as dangerous as this, you want to have a double way of shutting it off. So you hit the button, doesn't turn off. You've always got a manual option, which you know should work most of the time. Safety, once again, is paramount on this vehicle, because if this thing starts running away and these brakes aren't going to hold it, your chutes fail or chutes burn up, melt to pieces, you definitely want a way to stop the car. So this is where we're at. So number one of 8,345 trips to the greatest performance shop in Brisbane, MSA. So the guys around at MSA, they've looked after me on my cars for as long as I can remember. Really like those blue louvers. They're a good addition to the shop. All right, what do we need, Andy?
The fitting, we need to come out at 90 degrees.
A few minutes later.
Welcome to MSA, can I help you? So we didn't get the part we needed, but we got a free catalogue to Aeroflow. You know what's more useless than not getting the part? This thing. Anyway, back to the shop. Burnouts, mate. So this cable here is part of the throttle assembly in the car. And basically what we want to do is we want to retain the throttle lever, one for fuel and one's for obviously thrust of the engine. But they have these push-pull cables which are similar to like accelerator pedals and blower, butterfly operators and all the rest of it, all the technical stuff I can't be bothered talking about. But this here needs to turn this valve, this ball valve, on and off. So basically, the way it is now, when it turns off,
That's off now.
that's off, that's on, it's too much of an angle and this cord isn't quite right to do it all. So what Andy suggested is that we make some sort of a cut and change the angle so it pushes and pulls at the same angle. But I'm gonna let Andy explain that because he probably knows a bit more than me about what we're doing. But all I know is we're cutting stuff and welding it back together.
So in the off position, it's virtually 90 degrees to where it's open. So you got, that's off, that's on. Our cable's here, it's not gonna push right. The ratio's wrong. So you want that at 45 degrees each way. So when it pushes, it's off and on. So always double check with cardboard before you make a cut.
I would have just bought like 4 handles and eventually got it right.
So if we say where the bend is, we'll cut it 45 degrees to the bend. And then we'll cut that piece off. So that will end up there. So that's your off position. And that's your on. So that's 45 degrees and 45 degrees. So our cable retains a straight plane.
Okay, she sending pics of me before they hit the ground. All night we run them numbers on a fitness ad. This a cricket match, couple day affair with your wife. You think she leaving with my hoodie? Told her give it back. Stop off at the hometown, looking like I'm still the man. I see some epitomes.
Beautiful.
Yes, we have safety.
But I ain't never had to deal with that. And fuck about I'm bunk. I'm done laying low. I'm done acting like the enemy ain't made it.
So we thought we'd drain the old jet fuel out. I wasn't sure how much is in here. Basically, this thing holds 100 litres. So we've got 40 litres of buckets, maybe less. And there's potentially 100 litres in here. So I thought it was nearly empty, but we've already done 20 odd litres. So I actually don't know. So we could be in trouble here. I should probably look for another bucket. So thank God, didn't have more than the buckets we got available here. At least everything's clean. Jet feels really clean and cleans everything. It's like parts cleaner. So everything's nice and clean in there. That's pretty clear. We could potentially reuse that. Well, this is the first bit of safety we've included in this thing. So that's open now, Andy, right?
That's on, yeah.
Yep, so that's on. That's really easy to push. That'll be off.
Off, yep.
On, off. And there we go. That's
Not paying me $8 an hour to muck around.
$8 an hour. Did you get a pay rise? That's a good move. So we'll, the only other thing fuel related I want to do, so as I was explaining before, so the fuel comes out of this big tank, into this line, through this line, and I believe this is like a filter. So inside there to be some sort of filter because before it goes in the engine, it stop contaminants. But basically, if I'm out of control and I turn this fuel knob off, it's got all that hose, all this box, whatever's in there, there's probably a litre of fuel in there, and then it goes into the engine from there. So it's like 5 seconds, at idle, it's 5 seconds before it shuts down. We don't want that, we want it to shut down pretty much straight away in an emergency. So I'm gonna put an electronic shut-off valve in between this tank to the engine. I wanna put like a electronic solenoid shut-off valve. So that way, if we ever get in trouble and I shut it off, it's got 10 mil of fuel left, not a litre and a half. It's very important we've done that.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go
for the cradle to mount the protective armour to. There's an existing frame in there, so we want to make a front frame to marry up to that. Obviously, these angles have to be the same because the plate will not twist, so it's got to be the same but tapering in. But I'm saying that these angles are different, so we're cutting 2 different angles each time, so it's parallel with that one. So we'll get this in, we'll get a front one in, we'll nutsert each hoop, and we can plate boom, boom, either side, and we'll be safe inside. And thank you, Western Champlain, working over in Kansas. I used one of these on his car, and he said 15 bucks at Walmart, so that's what we did.
So nothing says safety like welding on top of an old methanol drum. That's probably got vapor in it. You know, if you don't risk it, you don't get the biscuit. Serious? Always a clown, isn't there? Who turned the lights off?
I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year.
Oh, okay.
Right, well, Andy's gone ahead and welded these up, give them a bit of a grind. So yeah, these bad boys here, this is going to be the backbone of our scatter shield. So hopefully these things can contain, if we ever have a bad experience with that motor, hopefully these things contain it. Now, I'm pretty confident in Andy's abilities. If you've ever seen a window, you've never seen it lick so clean until you this bloke around. Licks the shit. Basically, we'll trim them, Andy will trim them to size, put them in the car, and that allows us to get our sort of bearings we need for the armour plate. And speaking to the guys at Car Builders yesterday, we've actually ordered some sound deadener / heat proof. I'll give you the proper terminology when we get the product. But basically, we can put that inside the armour plates, and it stops a lot of the heat soak and the heat from coming through. So when we're in the car, not that we're in for a long time, but if we're in it, we like to be comfortable and we don't want to be hot. So wearing a fire suit in an enclosed cabin with a jet engine inside of it, it's nice to take a bit of heat out of the air. And Andy's done his best, and thanks to the guys at Car Builders, they're going to come and give us some really good products that we can hopefully keep ourselves nice and cool and going fast.
Get it in there, make some templates.
Yeah, we'll chuck these in and don't grab it. Actually, you want to grab it there for a second?
Sweaty gloves. Got a little issue here with a bit of floor bracing underneath. So we're going to try and pick a point where this will go through the floor and out to the outrigger. And it's dropping straight through here. So this section here is going to be cut out. We'll put that in place and weld this to that frame. So yeah, wouldn't get a grinder in there, it'd be a bit hard, a bit tight, so you haven't got a plasma cutter, have you?
I've got just the tool. So a little while ago at Alice Springs, I wanted to cut my exhaust off, and a grinder wouldn't get in there, but there's a tool that, this video is not sponsored by Ryobi, but Ryobi make this tool. It's called a Sawzall. Sawzall, saw off, cut everything. This tool. Now, I try to use this tool as much as I can because I need a battery. I try to use this tool as much as I can because it's like a gun. It's pretty cool. We're not allowed guns in Australia, by the way. But we have these, we can pretend. I feel like I need some safety equipment. Well, safety Gucci's are on. As you saw yesterday when I kicked that thing, I've got a massive cut on my foot. But anyway, today's safety equipment is sponsored by Pit Viper. Nothing, 90% of the time, nothing gets in your eye. Do you want to just cut it anywhere, Andy, or?
Well, we want to be able to weld that back to the frame, so.
Just around that area somewhere?
See where that line is?
Yep.
The back of that?
I can't see the line because I've got these.
That's not back in the line.
No, well, it's dark because I'm wearing sunnies.
And the thing,
it's not dark
the
in here.
side line there?
It's not I don't tell you how to operate a grinder or a welder or any of that. Get away. All right.
There's a 5mm gap there. You can guess who's on the welder.
Well, we're just around there somewhere. Whoa, shit.
No,
I've
no.
got another tool. Wait, I've got another tool. So what you do is you start it with this, and if you need more, you can get it in with this.
Yeah, right.
And then if you can't do it with these, you got that one.
Can't wait to see this work.
Not sponsored by Roby. All right, so we'll start off with this one. This is what I call the little tacker. Gets in little spots.
You won't get that in there.
Let me move all this Roby out of the way. Hang on, there we go. Doesn't quite get in there. What we can do, but that's about the line. Doesn't quite reach in there. Now we've got this. So this does stuff. And then once we've got a bit of a start on it, get in here. We need a battery. You get in here like that.
Remember how I said we're not cutting that whole thing off?
Well, I've just cut it all.
Now what are you going to weld to, mate?
Well, that's your problem. You're the fabricator. You didn't know how to do this, and I did it.
Get back on Facebook.
You know, sometimes, hey Kyle, do this. And I do too good of a job, and he's like, oh, you did too good of a job. You've done too much. Roby, mate. Okay. Not sponsored.
Thank you, Kyle.
So we're getting to the sort of technical / tedious part of the build where we've gone ahead and we've welded the frame in there.
I like the weave part, yeah, no.
Weave. When I say weave, I mean mostly Andy, and then if it comes to like an important part, I'll pretend to do it and then go, yeah, look what I did, but it's Andy. But anyway, now we've moved past that. So Andy, we've cut out these cardboard templates. Now, you can see the framing work in there, and basically now we're making armor plates that need to bolt onto all this framework. So all these are different shapes, angles, sizes, bends. It's an absolute nightmare. So Andy's bringing his cardboard from his personal collection at home, and he spent the last 2 hours cutting out templates. So when we build these armor plates, they pretty much fit. So that's the driver's side and the passenger side, and there's top bends. We've bent a bit of this aluminium angle up. That gives us the profile. So when we're bending stuff, we're actually going to try and make this in one piece. So it'll be like a top hat that'll pretty much drop onto these chassis rails here, or these scatter shield rails. And then we're going to just drill holes in them. We're going to put some nutserts, and we're going to basically bolt our scatter shield onto this frame. So all the profiles are right. We've got our cardboard, and tomorrow we can go to a workshop where they've got a guillotine and bends and presses, and they've got all sorts of fancy stuff. We can take our big sheet of 6mm plate, and we can bend it, cut it, and hopefully, if Andy's done all these maths right, and once again, this is an Andy problem, come back here, drill some holes, and screw some shit on. And that way, this car will be fully ready to send. Fully? Or maybe we'll start it and just have a look at it. But
wick it up.
We're another step closer to safely maintaining the, we can go fast and we can be safe about it. So this is a big step getting this done. Then we can move on to some other things. We're going to put a bit of a roll cage in here, some feet, somewhere to put a seat belt, because that's probably pretty important. And we've got some cool mods like a body kit, which is nearly ready, by the way. Shout out to Alpha for doing all the body kit, but we'll cover that in another episode. And we've got a spoiler that I bought off eBay. It's like $100. Not sure if I'm going to use that one, but it's just a bit of an idea. So it might get drop kicked, or it might end up on the car. We're yet to see that. But this will be a massive step. So once this is done and checked off, Andy will pretty much tell me what we're doing next. I have no control over this build.
That's just the backbone of it. Like, that's the main, everything will branch off of that. So yeah, once that's in, we're right, downhill.
Mount some lasers and some dragons.
With sparkles.
A couple of sparkles, get some glitter. Yes. Sparkles. Probably sweep up the floor, get some glitter.
Glitter.
Put it in there.
Yeah, right. Should throw that shit in when it's fired, mate.
No strippers. No strippers.
No strippers.